Hello, Mai. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, can you please turn on your camera, Mai?
My camera is
It's still not fixed.
yeah.
Okay, so it's okay, Mai. So how are you today, Mai?
I'm
What?
I'm good.
Very good. Okay, so how about the weather in your place right now? Is it good also?
Is is
What, Mai?
is rain.
It rained. Okay, so here in my place, the weather is very good and the rain just stopped. Okay, yeah, and I can see a rainbow outside. Yeah, so it's true that there's a rainbow after the rain. Okay, so for today's lesson, Mai, we're going to continue Unit 10 entitled Tourism. Then, can you still remember what slide did we end last time?
I think it's like
How about this one? Are we done with this?
I cannot see clearly.
Ah, yes, wait me a little bit. I'm going to open this one very big. How about this one?
It's so loud. I cannot see.
Ah, okay. So for this one, um, wait, how can I? Maybe I'm just going to send this to you in the Skype. Yeah,
Okay.
because here, then MaiQ. Kindly check my message, Mai. Did you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So for that one, I want you to complete the dialogue with the verbs below, and you can use the present perfect or past simple. Then please try to remember the difference between gone and been. Okay.
Yes.
You use gone if you went to a certain place and you have not been you haven't got home yet. You are still in that place. And while we use been if you've already been in that place and already got home. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So now can you please start reading and tell me your answer, Mai?
Yes.
Okay.
Um. How have you ever take a board?
Okay. Have you ever take?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put here. Take abroad. Okay, continue, Mai.
Uh, yes, um yes, I have uh yes I have been to the USA last summer with my family.
Okay, yes, I have been the USA last summer with my family. How about this one?
Uh, what
How about number three, four, and five, Mai?
uh, I think is I think is uh, uh, I think is what I think it's what we eat like.
What? What?
Mhm. Uh, what we is like.
What be it like?
Yeah.
Okay, how about this one?
I I um, I have never been to America.
Okay. I have never been to America. Okay, how about the B part?
You're really interesting. We uh, have visits a week in New York.
Okay.
We uh,
Okay, we.
answering is we take a boat trip around the mountain.
Okay, we take a boat trip round Manhattan and we blank a basketball at Madison Square Garden. So what's
Uh,
your answer in number 7?
and we watch a basketball game.
Okay. Continue, Mai.
Uh, who have you ever have you ever been the Empire State Building? Yes, but it was foggy, so we uh, uh, so we
Okay, so what is your
so
answer
we
here?
haven't seen much.
Okay, so we haven't seen much. Okay, so let me read your answer. Have you ever take abroad? Yes, I have been the USA last summer with my family. What be it like? I have never been to America. Really interesting. We have visit a week in New York. We take a boat trip around Manhattan and we watch a basketball game at Madison Square Garden. Cool. Have you ever been the Empire State Building? Yes, but it was foggy, so we haven't seen much. Okay, so this is, have you ever visited abroad? Okay. Then yes, I have been to USA last summer with my family. What was it like? This one is, what was it like? Okay, this here. I have never been to America. I s- I I gone never been. Okay, I have never been to America. Really interesting. We have visited. This is visited a week in New York. We take a boat trip and watch. Okay, very good. So for this one, you only got two mistakes. Okay, so now do you have any question to me regarding present simple and present continuous?
No,
Okay, so now let's proceed with this one. So this is speaking. I want you to look at the picture and answer the following question. Where are the people?
they are. I think
Yes? Where are the people?
they are uh, on the plane.
Okay, can you please repeat I can't hear you well.
They are on the plane.
Yes, they are inside the plane. Very good. So what are they doing?
I think they are taking food.
Yes, they are taking food. What do you think they are saying to each other?
Um, I think uh, I think they will tell what do you need for milk.
What, my?
I think they all tell is what do you need for milk.
Okay. So maybe this person here is saying this is your food, and this one says thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that is just okay. So these are um about the picture also. I want you to look the picture again, then you read the text and correct the information in the sentences. Okay. So after that, I want you to listen and check if all your answers are correct. Okay. So the flight attendant is wearing a blue top red. Ah, wait. Okay, so do you want to listen first before answering?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Lesson 6C. Exercise 2. 1,
The flight attendant is wearing a blue top.
2,
She's handing a meal to the man.
3,
The man next to the flight attendant is wearing a white jacket.
4,
The woman on the right is wearing a t-shirt.
5,
The food is in a cardboard box.
6.
We can see a woman in glasses in front of the man in the white shirt.
Ah, yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was muted. I forgot to unmute myself. Okay. So here, I want you to read the text and correct the information in the sentences. So for number one, the flight attendant is wearing a blue top. This is wrong because the flight attendant is wearing a red top. Okay, how about number two, Mai? Can you please correct this sentence?
She having a meal to the man is correct.
She's handing a meal to the man. Is it what's the correct sentence here?
I think this sentence is correct.
Okay. So she's handing a meal to the woman, not a man. Yeah, because the woman is receiving it, not the man. Okay, how about number three, Mai? What's the correct sentence for this one?
Uh, uh, I think is He's wearing a white t-shirt.
Okay, the man next to the flight attendant is wearing a white t-shirt. Okay, yes, this is correct. I know the woman. Okay, this is the man next to it is wearing a white jacket. Okay, this one is correct. How about number four, Mai?
Uh, I think is the woman on the right is wearing a t-shirt. Uh, I think
Yes.
the man.
Okay, very good. It's the man. How about number five?
Uh, I think is got a cardboard box.
Yes, very good. The food is in a cardboard box. That's correct. How about number six, Mai?
Uh, is in the woman a woman in glasses in front of the man
Is it correct or not?
is not.
Yeah, so what's the correct sentence for this?
I think is we can see a woman in glass behind of a man in a man in a white t-shirt.
Very good. So for this one, you got 5 out of 6. Okay, great job. So this one, let's proceed with our reading. Have you ever travel programs on TV? Ah, yeah. Have you ever seen a travel programs on TV about teenagers on holiday without parents? They're always having a wild and exciting time. But is it really like that? We asked 3 writers to tell us their personal experiences in traveling alone. Okay, so can you please read the story about Hilary Brad, who is a co-founder of a travel guide company?
Yes. When I was 15, I went to stay with my pen friend in North Germany. It was my first trip abroad and the first without my parents, and I hate ev- every minute of it. The worst moment was probably the time when I was alone in the house and somebody rang the doorbell. I rang it again and again, but I ignored it. Then I saw the visitor walking around the house, looking through the windows, quite telling. I hid under the dining room table. That afternoon, Christina's mother came home from work and said, I need to pick up some papers from the house today, and I didn't have my key. I rang the bell, but you but you didn't hear me. Oh, I was in my room. I expect. I said sorry. My face went red because I was lying. I'm certain she saw me under the table.
Okay, so thank you for reading this story, Mai. I can see that you're a great reader and a fast reader, and all your pronunciations are great. So you did a great job in reading this one. So what was the story all about?
Uh, I think is the first trip uh, of Hillary Brand.
Yes, it's all about Hilary Brad, who went to Germany for the first time without his parent. And he said that every time he went abroad, he hated it every minute. And for the worst moment was probably the time when he was alone in the house and somebody rang the doorbell. Yeah. They rang it again and again, but Hilary Brad ignored it. Then he saw the visitor walking around the house looking through the windows. He was very frightened and hid under the dining room table. In that afternoon, Christina's mother came from work and said, I needed to pick up some papers from the house today and I didn't have my key. I rang the bell, but you didn't hear me. Oh, I was in my room. I expect. He said, sorry, my face went red because she knew I was lying. I'm certain he saw me under the table. So what do you think? What is the reason why Hilary Brad hide under the table?
because because we saw the visitor walking around the house looking through the windows.
Yes. So what is the name of the visitor?
Uh, it's a Tristina model.
Yes, the mother of Christina. Very good. Okay, so now let's proceed with Kevin Rush by, which is a writer. Can you please read my?
Yes, assisting I uh uh I hiked down to a Cornwall in the southwest of England with a friend. We spent the holiday walking along the coast coastal path with a tent and a backpack, staying at a campsite on the way. The weather was fantastic and the sea was beautiful. We had almost no money and lived on sandwiches and tea. One of the first things I learned was a fire and a mug of tea can make the world seem perfect. The second thing, spending more money does not mean having more fun. That's really uh,
Mattered.
not my matter was taking to people. I had I had to do a lot of chatting,
Negotiating.
negotiating, discussing, and questioning. Strangle could be very helpful and interesting. I discovered they could also be dangerous during a study. It was up to me to judge them and decide, and that skill has been useful to me many times since then. I wrote it all down, but I have lost the notebook now, unfortunately.
Yes, so thank you for reading that on my. So what was it all about?
It's about uh, it's about
Yeah, the story was all about the personal experience of Kevin Rush by. Yeah, because he is very fond of hiking. So he hiked down to Cornwall in the southwest of England with a friend. So they spent the holiday walking along the coastal path with a tent and a backpack, staying at campsites on the way. So the weather was fantastic and the sea was beautiful, according to Kevin. They had almost no money and live on sandwiches and tea. Okay, so can you imagine that they don't have lots of money when they go for a camping, but they just live with sandwiches and a tea. Can you live with a sandwiches and a tea only, Mai?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe for me it's a little bit hard because I'm a rice eater. But for Kevin, he learned many things while camping. One of the first thing that he learned was a fire and a mug of tea can make the world seem perfect. So for him, it's perfect when there's a bonfire in front of him and just a mug of a tea. Okay, the second thing was spending more money does not mean having more fun. Okay, because recently I have spent so much money on online shopping like that, but the happiness that I feel is just temporary. Yeah, it doesn't give me the joy that I'm looking for. Okay, and I believe with the saying that spending more money doesn't mean having more fun, because what really mattered was socializing and talking to people. Okay, so according to Kevin, um strangers could be very helpful and interesting. That's what he discovered during his camp. They could also be dangerous, boring, and stupid, but it was up to him if he judged them and decide. Okay, so how about you, Mai? Do you like socializing with people?
I think I don't like it.
Yeah, me too. I don't like socializing with people. Yeah, because I have nothing to say about them. Yeah, but when the people ask me a question, I can answer them. But after that, I have nothing to say. Yeah, that's why I don't like socializing with people. Okay. So, but socializing with people is good because it can help you boost up your confidence like that, and you can gain or you can develop relationship towards with that person. Okay, so now, do you have any question regarding Kevin Rush B?
No.
Okay, so let's proceed with Terry Alderton, which is a comedian. Can you please read this one, Mai?
Yeah. My friends and I were 19 and on holiday in the coolest place in the world. Ibiza. On the first day, I fell asleep on the beach with no sunscreen. My friends knew I was getting sunburned, but they didn't wake me up because they thought it was funny. When I woke up, I felt a little sore. Then I took off my sunglasses and my friends all fell on the floor, laughing. I had to clear my rings around my eyes. That that night, we all went out dancing, and of course, I had to keep wearing the same sunglasses because of my sunburn. I wasn't enjoying myself, so I left before my friends. For some reason, I didn't want to wait for a bus back to our hotel, so I walked 7 kilometers along busy road. When I finally arrived, my friends were already there, already there, sitting around the pool. I never understood how they got in there so quick.
Okay, so thank you for reading that one, Mai. So what can you say about the story of Terry Alderton?
Can you repeat?
What can you say about his story?
Uh, the story about A holiday in the coolest place in the world.
Yes, that's correct. And since he's a comedian, he was made a joker to their friends because on the first day he fell asleep on the beach with no sunscreen, and her friends knew that he was getting sunburned, but they didn't wake him up because they thought it was funny. Then he took off his sunglasses, and his friends all fell on the floor laughing again. They had two clear white rings around my eyes. So that night they all went out dancing, and of course they had to keep wearing the same sunglasses because of the sunburn. He wasn't enjoying himself, so he left before his friends. For some reason, I didn't want to wait for a bus back to our hotel, so I walked 7 kilometers along busy roads. When I finally arrived, my friends were already there, sitting around the pool. I've never understood how they got there so quickly. Okay. So do you like a friend like this one, Mai?
No.
Yeah, me too. I don't like a friend who have a personality like this because they are just going to make you as their joker or a comedy. Yeah, and I think it's a little bit stupid if you will go with them, if you go along with them. Yeah, so be careful in choosing your friends. So that's the moral of the story. Okay, so now for the reading part, I want you to circle the correct answer. Then you answer the question, which holiday experience was the best and why? Okay, so for number one, Hillary went red because her pen friend's mother knew that Hillary didn't hear the doorbell, B, that Hillary was in her bedroom, or C, that Hillary was not telling the truth, or D, why Hillary didn't want to open the door. What's your answer, A, B, C, or D?
It's the C.
Okay, this is letter C. Very good. For number two, on Kevin's first holiday without his parents, he A. Walked all the way to the southwest of England, B. Decided to hitchhike around southwest England, or C. Spent the holiday at a campsite in Cornwall, or D. Camp at various places along the coast.
Uh, I think it's I think it's letter B.
Yes, very good. You got the correct answer. For number three, meeting lots of different people taught Kevin A. Some useful skills that he later lost, B. That negotiating with strangers can be dangerous, or C. How to decide what strangers are like, or D. That talking to strangers is usually boring.
It's it's letter B.
Yeah, that negotiating with strangers can be interesting or dangerous. Yeah, so it depends on what you judge about them. Okay, so for number four, Terry had circles around his eyes because A. His friends put lots of sunscreen on his face, B. The rest of his face was red from the sun, or C. His eyes were sore from too much sun, or D. He wanted to make his friends laugh.
Uh, it's letter C.
Okay, his eyes were sore from too much sun and he got a sunburnt. Okay, for the last number, Terry decided to walk back to the hotel because he wanted to get back to the hotel before his friends. B, he knew there were no more buses. Or C, he didn't feel like standing at the bus stop. Or D, he knew it was not very far.
Uh,
What's your answer?
it's letter A.
Okay, it's letter A. Very good because you got a perfect score in this live. That's 5 out of 5. So now, let's proceed with our speaking. Kindly look at the two pictures. Where would you prefer to go on a holiday? Then you state why. Then, do you want. Okay, so in this picture, can you please describe the first picture first?
The first picture is like a beach,
Yeah.
and it has a and there's small uh, some small balls in that.
Yes, that's correct. How about the second picture? Can you please describe it?
Uh, it's like uh, it has there I think it's a several couple cars in the picture.
Okay. So where do you want to go on a holiday? Where do you prefer to go on a holiday? Is it the first picture or the second picture?
It's the first picture
Why?
because in the holiday there's is usually will be hard and I prefer to go to beach.
Okay, yes, me too, because I'm a beach person. So I prefer going to this holiday. I like island hopping, like that. Okay, so for this one, if I'm given a chance to experience this, I will also. But if I'm going to choose these two, I prefer the first picture. So do you want to travel alone, Mai, or with your family or friends?
I will travel with my friends.
Yeah. How about a family? Do you want to travel together with your family?
Yes,
Okay, so which do you prefer, family or friends?
I prefer to go with my friends.
Friends, yeah, because we can do anything together with our friends. But when it comes to family, there can be some restriction about what we're doing. Yeah, don't do that one, don't wear this one, like that, like that. Okay, so I can relate to you, Mai. So now, Mai, thank you for answering my question. So for this one, this is a listening. Okay, wait me a little. Ooh. Can you still see my screen, Mai?
Yes.
Can you still see my screen?
I'm no.
Yeah, okay, let me enter this one again. Okay. So for the listening part, I want you to listen to a true story about a holiday that went wrong. Then you answer the question, what was the misunderstanding between Georgina and the travel agent? Okay. So please take note the question. What was the misunderstanding between Georgina and the travel agent? Okay, here.
Lesson 6C. Exercises 8 and 9.
Georgina Hepworth finished her lunch and relaxed in her seat with a cup of tea. She was nearly 2 hours into the flight. She turned to the woman in the seat next to her and said, "I'm really looking forward to my holiday in Spain." "Oh, when are you going to Spain then?" asked her fellow passenger. "Well, now, of course," said Georgina. The woman gave her a puzzled look. "Not on this plane, you're not," she replied. That's when Georgina found out that her plane wasn't heading for the historic city of Granada in Spain, but for the island of Grenada in the Caribbean. The Spanish city is 1,500 kilometers south of London. The island, on the other hand, is 7,000 kilometers away on the other side of the Atlantic. After her husband died earlier in the year, Georgina decided to go on holiday to Spain. She contacted a travel agent and booked the flight on the phone. When the tickets arrived in the post, she didn't notice that one letter was different in the name of the destination. It said Grenada, not Granada, but I didn't look very closely, Georgina later explained. She didn't spot the difference in spelling at the airport either. I noticed that the departure time and the arrival time were very different, she said, but I thought that was because of the time difference between Britain and Spain. When she realized her mistake, 2 hours into the flight, Georgina spoke to the flight attendant. I thought the plane was going to Spain, but it's going to the Caribbean, she said. The flight attendant was very sympathetic, allowed Georgina to sit in a first-class seat, and gave her champagne. But the plane was over the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and heading west. There was nothing that Georgina could do but wait until the plane landed at its destination. When the plane finally arrived in the Caribbean, the airline put her in a hotel for the night and then on the following day flew her to Granada in Spain. The travel agent apologized to Georgina and gave her a free ticket for her next holiday. It was just a misunderstanding, said Georgina. I don't blame anyone. The travel agent just misheard me. I'm certainly not complaining. They've given me a free holiday in Austria. Let's hope they don't send me a ticket to Australia.
Okay, so what was the misunderstanding between Georgina and the travel agent?
Can we finish now because I have exam preparation class in 5 minutes.
Ah, yeah, sure, Mai, no problem. Thank you so much for joining our class, Mai, and I'll be seeing you Tuesday next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and keep safe always. Bye bye, Mai.
Bye.
Okay.
Have a good night.